Hello everyone. I just wanted to show everybody a little bit of information about the new 2019 Rogue. I get a lot of questions from customers as there's a lot of tech in these vehicles, specifically the advanced display that's right up in here in your cluster. I'm just going to go through some menus. I'm going to show you some of the buttons here and what they do and what they mean. Buttons on the steering wheel, a couple of buttons on the side on the dash, just to give you a little bit more familiarity with your vehicle, and so you don't have to rip out your owner's manual and leaf through all the index and figure it out, because I'm a nice guy and I like to do that for people. So let's just go in here. So this is your advanced display. Right away you can see we're in the settings portion of it. It gives you a lot of feedback right up front. You don't have to go into different menus. You've got the time, you've got the temperature, what gear you're in, distance to empty. You can see that fuel gauge down there. It tells us we have 261 kilometers approximately to drive on, and there's 13 kilometers on this brand new Rogue. Now I've got some controls on the steering wheel here, this directional pad, that lets me either go sideways through the different menus or up and down, and then I can select enter if I want to go into something, and then this back button gets me back to the previous screen. So if we're in driver assistance and I hit OK, it's going to bring us in. Then I can hit OK again, go into driving aids, and further go into some options. If I want to go back, I just hit this back button right there, and it'll bring us back to the previous menu. So let's just go through these menus so I can just show you them quickly. So driver assistance, I'm gonna go through kind of quickly here. So right away, we've got driving aids, parking aids, and chassis control. Now this is an SV model. Most of this stuff is standard on almost every model, but the SV really has a lot of stuff, and it's the midline model. I love it, value for the dollar. So we go in, driving aids, what do we got here? We have emergency brake, so front collision brake. If somebody cuts us off last minute, it will stop for you. You got that turned on. We have lane departure, so this is lane departure warning. So this is letting you know you're getting close to the line, and it's gonna give you an indication. Now, if it's lots of snow on the ground or something's going on, you could turn that off so that the system kind of isn't going crazy and having a hard time figuring out if there's lines on the road. If it is nice and dry outside or the lines are clear, leave it on, it works amazing. Then we got blind spot indication, so blind spot warning system. Not sure why you'd ever want to turn this off. It's a really good feature. If somebody, basically is in your blind spot, there is a little light that is here on the inside of the vehicle that will light up, and then if you put your signal light on while it lights up, it'll flash and chime at you to let you know that there's something in your blind spot, just to double check that you can safely move into the other lane. Let's go back out of that, and let's go out of the driving aids. Now we're going to go down to parking aids. In parking aids, we have cross traffic, so that's when you're backing up. If anything's coming from the side, it's going to let you know. You can turn that off if you want. I don't know why, again, you turn it off. Chassis control, so these are the systems that make the Rogue drive amazing. Chassis control uses a couple different systems, trace control and engine brake to help it. So when you go into corners, it gives you so much more confident. Drivability is a weird word, but that's the best way to describe it. When you have trace control on and you're going into a corner, and it really helps you just mitigate that corner using the throttle and the brake and the traction control, or engine brake. As soon as you start applying the brake, it automatically uses the RPMs to help slow you down as well. These are all wicked features. Sometimes I just turn them off and drive the car and show a customer how much they help, because the Rogue, it drives pretty good without them on, but when you turn them on, it's amazingly better. And then let's get out of the driver assistance programs. So then we can go into clock. You can set the clock manually or go to 12 or 24 hour. We can go into meter settings. In meter settings, you have a bunch of different options. So we've got main menu selection. Now here we can turn on or off a bunch of menus. So you can see I'm turning things on here. Some 4x4 indications, some driver assistance information, and audio system. If you don't like seeing these in your menus, you can turn them off. I'm just going to turn them all on so you can see them when I go flip through the menus. Then we've got body color. So depending on the color of the particular vehicle. So this one actually happens to be a gun metallic. So we go through and we can see that it is set to the gun metallic color. Come back out of here. You got eco mode settings where you can go and look at whether your eco indicator is turned on, lets you know if you're getting the best efficiency. Display mode, you can go into eco drive report, see your history, and then there's a welcome effect when you turn on the car. It's kind of nice, but if you don't like it, you can turn it off. Let's go back out of this. We've got vehicle settings, so then you can go in and really customize things. The lighting, you can turn on and off the sensitivity, or whether the lights come on when you open the door. Turning indicators, whether the signal light turns off after 3 flashes. Locking, whether you want the I key to work, whether you want just the driver's door to unlock or all the doors, whether you want the horn to answer when you hit the lock button on the fob. All just selection things you can do. Wipers, Speed dependent, I like this. As you go faster, the wipers go faster. Reverse link, I also like this. As soon as you put it in reverse, it will activate the back wiper, just one quick pass. And then drip wipe, it also has a sensor that as soon as you use your spray, it will just give you an extra wipe there, which works great. Remote start, we've got that turned on. The SV model comes standard with remote start, amazing. Rear door alert, people are always like, what's rear door alert? Well, this is actually if you have someone in the back, the vehicle can sense there was an occupant back there, and it just lets you check, like, hey, did you get everybody and everything out of the back of the car, or are you forgetting something? Now, you can turn that on or off. You can have alert only, you can have the horn, you can have different ways of it alerting you to check your back seat. Let's go back out of there. We go into maintenance, and you can set up intervals for your oil and filter, tire, or other maintenance items. Alarms, we can go in and set whether you get alerts, whether you get phone messages, a mail, like text messages, or a timer if you set one. And then we can go down, you can look at tire pressures, you can change the units from Celsius to Fahrenheit and metric to standard if you want. Languages, a couple different languages you can go in, or you can just factory reset everything if you've messed it all up and are like, man, how do I get this back to how it was when I first bought it? Let's get out of here. So all I have to do is hit the over button to change from the settings menu that I'm in right now, and bam, it's gonna start flipping through some regular screens. So I'll just kind of bring the camera up a little closer. So this is kind of the home screen, an average speed, which we can reset if we want. And then we can reset all the average speeds if you want to know what you've been traveling. A trip computer, economy with a bar graph and an average. Audio, what's playing on the device. This is our intelligent cruise control, so really cool. On the new 19 Rogue, an SV model comes standard with intelligent cruise control. So that is this button right here. Basically, if we turn our cruise control on, then you can see that's changed. So here's off, there's on, and there's 3 bars letting us know the distance that we are going to be following the vehicle. In front of us, we can go closer or farther away, and then it'll show you the speed you're set at. And then if we press over again, we are to where all our safety settings are. So we have forward collision set on, we have our blind spot warning set on, and it shows you those are activated as the lighting on the sides and front are turned on. Push over, tire pressures will appear once we're driving. 4x4, so this is a really cool screen. This shows us what percentage of power the 4x4 is going. So primarily front wheel drive and the best fuel economy, and then when it needs to, when you're initially taking off or if it feels slip, it will engage the rear tires too. It works awesome. Chassis control, just showing us that that's turned on. Any warnings like low washer fluid or an open door or anything. And then back to our main menu screen. So again, just coming down on the steering wheel, you know, this is how you turn the cruise control on and off, your Bluetooth and your voice command system, being able to set and resume your cruise, and the distance the intelligent cruise control follows another vehicle. On this side, controls for all the menus inside there, the back button, and then these are your audio controls to go to the next track or radio station, and volume controls. Then on the side, you've got a stick here. These are your headlight controls. So headlights are off. We've got just park lights on, headlights on, and then an automatic mode so it can sense. And then on the inside, if we roll this forward, our fog lights come on, and you can see the indicator there, fog lights on, fog lights off, that kind of thing. And when we turn them off, all the lights are off. Now you can see my lights are on to some capacity because that light is on. If I turn them off, everything's off. Down here, you've got your trip button to reset your trip. This is also how to control the brightness of the lights inside when you have your night lights on, and all the display is, if it's too bright or not bright enough, you can turn that up or down. And then down here, what are all these buttons? These are the ones that confuse people, and it's really funny. So that's just traction control, stability control button. Turn it off if you want to pull donuts. If you want the vehicle to stay on the course, keep it on. This is a dynamic driving button. Essentially what this button does is this vehicle has lane intervention. If you start to doze off or not paying attention and you start going to that outside lane and you're going to cross the line, the vehicle is going to put you back in the center of your lane. So it has a warning system that you can turn off, or you can activate or turn off the actual intervention system. I'm just going to show you. So if I press that button, you see a light up there. Now you know the lane departure is turned on, and the vehicle will intervene if it feels you going over the center line. Okay, turn on, turn off. That's not just the warning. The warning can be turned off manually by itself. We've got a fuel door on the outside that this will open if we press it, so it just stops people from stealing your gas. We have all-wheel drive system that works automatically full time, but if we want to lock it in because we want to slowly crawl out of something, maybe hit the ditch or whatever, that's going to engage it to a 50-50 split. If you go too fast, it will disengage. Sport mode, so this is just going to increase your RPMs and give you a little bit sportier feel to the vehicle, maybe burn a little more fuel, be a little bit more just responsive. Some people like to drive with that on. And then an eco button. So no, this does not make your vehicle more economical. That button right there basically just gives you an indication whether you are driving economically or not. So if you're driving a little rammy, eco light's not going to be on. If you're not driving, or if you're driving economically, it will. So I've got the eco button turned on. There it's off, there it's on, and if I started driving really aggressively, it would turn off. So that's just a few of the systems that I wanted to show you on the new 2019 Nissan Rogue. Like I said, a lot of people have a lot of questions about that stuff. Even myself, when I first saw them, I was like, what's this button? What does that do? And now hopefully that gives you a little better understanding. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. And if you want one of these beautiful vehicles, just give me a call.